first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
All right, welcome back to Fox 12 Now. Thank you for being here. We're live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, but we also get out of the studio here every now and then, and that's what this next segment is going to be all about. And there we go. So we'll get this pulled up here. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler, live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And we're here every weekday, but we also get the opportunity to get out of the studio every now and then. And that's what we're going to be talking about during this segment. We took a trip down to Salem, Oregon, and visited a blacksmithing shop owned by Josh Navarrete. And the story is pretty unique. He won a competition called Forged in Fire for blacksmithing, and with those winnings, decided to not only open up his own shop, but also start to help former first responders and veterans who are going through PTSD and other challenges. And he uses blacksmithing as his creative therapy. We talk about that, and during the process, we also make a knife, and he shows how that all works going through that, but also the importance of that community that he's building and how it all works together. Let's take a watch.
Like, hit it on full surface, you'll start, you hit it. This is where all the magic happens. This is where anybody can come and create a blade from scratch all the way to the end. Blacksmithing, I mean, we're bladesmiths. So we focus on knives. Knife making, bladesmithing is under the umbrella of blacksmithing, which is huge. So you just come here, learn how to make a knife, and you can branch out. I have many people who have come and learn how to make a knife, and they end up making gates or ornamental stuff, art.
Right.
So it's this is kind of like the first step for a lot of people to enter into the blacksmithing world.
And how did this all get started? What is the name of the place that we're at here?
So the name is Navarrete Knives / NK Forge and Metal Works.
Okay.
But I also, here is where we run my nonprofit organization, which is called IACT. IACT stands for Industrial, Artistic, and Creative Therapy. This is where we provide our vets and former first responders with PTSD free classes. So we provide them what we call the recreational therapy.
Recreational therapy.
Yes.
And what is it about blacksmithing that makes it such a good candidate for something like this?
Well, blacksmithing, it just gives you the opportunity to focus on creating something and using your hands. Some people, go for, jogging or exercising or boxing or jiu-jitsu. I mean, all different type of glass blowing, ceramics. Blacksmithing, to me, has been the way that I can see people focusing and getting rid of that overstimulation, which a lot of our vets and first responders due to PTSD, overstimulation is just horrible. So what we do is we give them a project. They select the project that they want to do, and they focus. And at the end of the day, after they're physically tired, because it's a little taxing to forge. But at the end of the day, they're mentally leveled.
Yeah.
So that is basically what blacksmithing does. It just regulates you. It could be spoons. We could be making spoons,
right.
Pans, whatever it is. It's just the process, the whole building, the whole using your hands, and learning how to use new tools. Mm-hmm. Because that's one of the very important things. One important aspect is that when you learn how to use a tool, the options open up. Because then you start thinking, I know how to use this tool. I can make this now. I can make that now. And then you start branching out and you start spiraling. I mean, it can be a rabbit hole, but it's a fun one.
And then you end up from spoons to swords to whatever else.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Which are just cool. What is it that drove you to want to do that, though? To help out, veterans and first responders going through that?
Yeah, so since 1999, my background is supportive employment. I help people with disabilities and other barriers to employment to find jobs in the community. Many of them were vets. So the more I worked with them, the more I found that there was a gap in services. So I invited one of my friends that I met through work to my backyard. and say, hey, do you want to learn how to make a knife? Yes. All right, come over. He learned it, and it was it. For him, it was it. And for me, I was like, we have something.
Yeah. It clicked.
It clicked. So after that, it snowballed from there. I had the opportunity to go to the show Fortune Fire. I went to Atlanta for a show. The producers approached me. They invited me, and I said, sure. I have no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's do this. I went to the show. Everything worked out where I won, the episode. And the money that I got from it, I was able to invest it into opening an actual shop and start buying equipment to open IACT.
Wow.
So, and then from there, it's just the response, the support has been incredible. It is a very pretty cool way to approach therapy, and we keep it simple. That's my thing. We keep it stupid simple, and you just allow the participants, the students, the guys to come, and then just open the forge, give them the tools that they need, some support, some instruction, and everything, and allow them just to be themselves.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we are forming a community, a very strong community, because then they start meeting other guys that are going through the same things and everything, and we start talking to each other, and we get our own therapy.
Yeah. So you're all in here hammering and making something and then chatting at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just because, as men, we really don't have many opportunities for us to just let things go. So this is one of those. Because as you know, we are wired not to express how we feel, right? It just doesn't feel natural. Plus, they're vets. So you add that extra layer. And the thing is, I always talk about identity, because that's the goal here. A lot of our vets, they come back and they try to go back to what they used to like before, right? Friendships or hobbies, all that stuff. But you know what? Food doesn't even taste the same anymore. There's something that happens. They don't understand what it is. So what happens? They start isolating. So what happens? There goes the spiral. And unfortunately, we end up with a 22 a day. Because they have lost that identity. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they should be doing now. And they don't feel related to their loved ones, friends, family, and everything. So, but of course, because they don't exactly know what's going on, they're not able to explain it. And it's unfair from us to believe that they can get better by just sitting down and talk about it with somebody. That might work for some. But in reality, it doesn't work for everybody. For most of them, that doesn't work. So what do? Well, you provide them another way to be able to express themselves and be themselves. I have guys who have come, and they're just basically the lone wolves. They're in the corner, not talking to anybody. They're doing their own thing, and they leave. After a few months, they're already telling me how things are going. They're opening up. So everything is about allowing them to just get their own therapy the way they see it fit to them. And what is cooler than making knives?
Yeah, well, not a lot. So this is not only a blacksmithing shop, it's also, therapy. It's a social club. It's all, a community gathering. It's all of those things all in one.
It is. I mean, again, you provide that identity back to our vets. And we are looking to start a mentorship program. So this is another step that we're taking on. We are partnered out with CTEC, for example. We have built a pretty cool relationship with them, and we're looking for an opportunity for students to come here and be mentored by vets. Because at that point, you are not just going to be serving vets and giving that opportunity to continue moving forward in a higher level, which is now a mentor. That is a huge boost. But also, you're going to give the opportunity to some of the kids that many of them didn't have the dad like I did. So we're going to try to provide them that strong male figure, but also structure, discipline, and our vets, who they already have that in them. All they need is just some support, training, and just let them go.
All right, there we go. Josh, as was shown at the end, there is my knife that I made. He makes them a lot prettier than I do, but it was still really great to go in there, and it really is amazing just seeing something like that, giving back and helping out those people that are going through that of note. And I'm not sure if Josh mentioned in there, but those services for them are free as well. So certainly look him up, and even if you're not there for the therapy side of things, it's a lot of fun. It really is, and it's really fascinating learning how it all works, and it's very creative, as he mentioned. So big thank you to Josh for having us out there to see that process and learn a little bit more about what he's doing. And that's one of the things we get to do every now and then, is get out of the studio and show you some of that. So thanks for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now.